So the right to bear arms is in the Constitution. You know that, I know that, and we're all aware of the laws and our rights. Although the credit card industry and the banking system have plans on altering how we can purchase guns and ammo in the near future. Now, do you guys agree that these institutions should have a say with what we purchase, and should they be provided this right? Also, is the Federal Reserve thinking about having more inflation to reverse the stock market crash? The question is if they're ready to pivot or not. Another great question would be, are the American people ready for more inflation? Now, comment below with a quick yes or no in the comments. I really do value your opinion. Now, for your daily dose on the truth when it comes to the U.S. economy, the stock market, possible fourth stimulus check, not likely, passive income, Social Security, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects your wallet, be sure to click the subscribe button and click the notification bell icon. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for always hitting the like button on all my videos, and I really appreciate that. All right, now let's get right into it. Was your recent trip to the grocery store just not the way you remembered? Besides the high price of meat, eggs, milk, pretty much everything on the shelves, if they're empty or not, certain parts of the U.S. is still going through some shortages that have left many households with unique problems. Is your local store missing anything, or are they running low on a particular item? I would be interested to know, so please drop a comment and share with everyone. Now, we do have some good news which may avert even worse supply chain constraints, as the marathon talks between unions and management have finally led to a tentative deal. Now, in a statement from the White House, the deal was called an important win for the economy and the American people. Believe it or not, it took 20 hours for the communication between the union's leadership and the railroad's labor negotiators for them to finally come to an agreement. This, however, does not mean that a strike is now off the table. Union members still have to approve the deal, and this is what the president had to say about it. It is a win for tens of thousands of rail workers who worked tirelessly through the pandemic to ensure that America's families and communities got deliveries of what have kept us going during these difficult years. These rail workers will get better pay, improved working conditions, and peace of mind around their health care costs. While that problem seems to have been avoided for now, the National Rifle Association, or NRA, is dealing with another, as they are not in favor of how credit card companies want to track our gun and ammo purchases. In a nutshell, they're going to be making a new code specifically for gun sales, meaning that when you swipe your card to buy a handgun, they're right on top of that. Now, are they trying to create a national registry of gun owners? It would seem like it to me. But the worst case scenario here, and hear me out, is that these credit cards and these banks will have the power to decline purchases if they do not like you or think that you are a threat to them or to others. They can just outright do that. Now, I've actually already seen it with others who have said that Visa has declined a recent ammo purchase, but another credit card still went through. The ISO, or International Standards Organization, decided that this was the best option after mounting pressure from the Democrats in Congress who favored using a code. Supporters of the code have said that they will help flag suspicious firearm sales in efforts to lower gun crime. However, Lars Delseat, NRA spokesman, has said that the ISO's decision to create a firearms-specific code is nothing more than a capitulation to the anti-gun politicians and activists bent on eroding the rights of law-abiding Americans one transaction at a time. Now, this is not about tracking or prevention or any virtuous motivation. It's about creating a national registry of gun owners. Now, what do you guys think? Is it for the safety, or are they just going to use this as a way to control how we purchase guns and ammo? Now, control is what the Federal Reserve wishes it had over inflation, but do you think that they're ready for a pivot where they lower interest rates again and turn the money printer back on to print more money again? Well, here's what's going on, and here's what's going to happen if they do this. It's going to save the stock market from free fall and will even help the crypto market. The housing market will also be helped, as a crash will be avoided. Does this sound like a good thing to you guys? Well, since this is the best community here on YouTube, I know that you guys are already asking, what's the catch, Kevin? Well, the catch is that inflation will become even worse and the wealth gap will become even worse. And as the poor keep getting poorer while the rich become even richer. Back in 2020, when the health crisis hit, trillions of dollars dollars were printed to make up for all the unemployment. The crash of the GDP and what happened, the stock market shot up. Now, back when stimulus checks were still a good thing and talked about regularly, it seemed as if the economy was set to break record highs. But they printed so much money that it inflated everything. It took a long time until Fed Chair Jerome Powell realized that this record inflation was because of them and their printing of trillions of dollars. But by the time that they started raising interest rates, we were too far gone. By June of this year, they started the QT, or quantitative tightening. So, Kevin, what does that mean? Well, they basically removed money from our economic system, and by this month, they plan on removing $95 billion a month for the next 2 years. It's clear that the Fed printed so much as financial institutions across the nation have so much money that they don't know what to do with it. Seriously, if only they could use it to send stimulus checks. But seriously, although economists would argue that stimulus checks were one of the reasons for this mess anyway, the banks have now let this money sit with the Federal Reserve so that it'll earn interest. How much money is sitting there? Well, I got this from the Fed's website. And no, that's not $2 million, guys. That is $2 trillion. That's what's sitting there. They actually don't have an option to show the money in trillions. Probably too many numbers, I guess. Or I just couldn't find the particular feature. But yeah, these financial institutions don't even know where to begin as to how they're going to use this money. This is called a reverse repo market, and it's actually not that bad that this money isn't out in our economy, because I know that some will say, why not release it as a stimulus check? Well, hear me out. For starters, it's not the federal government's money, and inflation would balloon if they did. Now, you may ask, well, what's the point of removing $95 billion a month for the next 2 years? To put it simply, $95 billion for the next 24 months would equal $2.2 trillion. Math's fun, right? The basic idea for the Fed's soft landing is whenever they take $95 billion from our economy, they take the same amount from the reverse repo market and input it back into the system. If things go according to plan, the reverse repo market will be depleted in 2 years. But do you think that the banks would just let the Fed do all of that without having the need for some of that money? No, it's going to get messy for sure. And with interest rates rising and quantitative tightening, the government's debts will surely be affected. And while they have a fixed interest rate for the debt they have now, but they are also making new ones as we speak. To put it simply, a 1% increase in interest rates, the federal government will have to pay $300 billion more. Will the Federal Reserve pivot? Most likely. And they're going to have to choose between collapsing our country's economy or turning on the money printer and printing more money. Now, I'm betting that they're going to pick the latter option. But will this mean more stimulus checks? Only time will tell. It really depends on their priorities, but I would say that they would be better off reallocating money that's already been printed. This pivot may help us right now, but the future's looking grim for our economy in the long run, to say the least. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel and want to keep updated with everything that matters to you regarding our economy and your money, make sure you just subscribe to the channel, because if you want the truth, you know where to get it. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. You're all awesome. And I'll be back with another update for you real soon. Take care.